Hey y'all, happy Wednesday. It's church day. Find somewhere to go tonight. We're going to get right into it today. I am very excited. God's just been doing amazing things lately, not just for me, but for everyone. And He's just so good, and I just about can't contain it. But we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm in Matthew chapter 16, verse 24. And it says, Then Jesus said to his disciples, If anyone desires to come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. I was reading over there. So, if anyone desires to come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. Following Jesus is a choice. And what that means is that we've all got these big plans for our lives. We want to go work here, and we want to live here, and we want to have this many children, and we want to marry this person, and we want to do this on this weekend, and this and that. It is following Jesus is a choice where you take all those plans that you've got for your own life, all the things you want to do, and you submit them to God, and you say, Lord, I want to be in your will. If there's any of this that's not in your will, take it out and give me what you want me to have, and that's what I'll do. That's what following Jesus means. And is it all at once? No. It's little things here and there. Like right now, I am content where we live. I love living here. We have a great church. I have a good job. My husband has a good job. My kids are established in a school. They went to the same school since they started going to school. And I would love to stay here forever. But I am open to the possibility that there might come a day when God says, hey, I want you to move somewhere else. It could be to a whole nother state. It could be to a whole nother country. God, I hope not. But submitting your life, being open and saying, Lord, whatever you want. I like where I'm at. I like what I've got going on right now. But Lord, if this isn't what you want, lead me where you want me to go. And that's where we have a problem. See, you can't live your life one way and say you love God, but not be willing to submit to him. You know, in his word, does it say, Katie's going to move so-and-so and that's what I got to do? No. But his word is a guideline to how we should live our lives. And that is his will for our life, is what's in his word. So if you are doing things in your life that are contrary to his word, you know, and yes, that does mean sin. But if you are doing things in your life that are contrary to his word repeatedly, and then you get up and go to church on Sunday morning, and you're trying to teach this, and you're praising and worshiping, and you're talking about the Lord to people, but then you're going out and getting drunk at the Mexican restaurant on Saturday night, y'all, that ain't gonna fly. I mean, everybody's got their own opinion about it, but your opinions do not cancel out what God's word says, okay? You cannot, that is called lukewarm. And in Revelation, it says, it talks straight to the lukewarm church. And did I write it down? I don't have it down. Let me see if I got it right here. Revelations chapter 3, verse 15 through 17. I know your works, that you are neither cold nor hot. I could wish you were cold or hot. So then, because you are lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will vomit you out of my mouth, because you say, I'm rich, I've become wealthy, and have no need of nothing, and do not know that you are wretched, miserable, blind, poor, and naked. So being cold or hot means pretty much being on the fence about it. Okay? You're playing church on Sunday, but you're living like the rest of the world throughout the rest of the week. You're taking your Saturdays and going on the river and drinking on the boat, and then gonna show up in church Sunday morning. Y'all, that ain't right. That ain't right. Pick one or the other. You have to pick one or the other. I mean, I know I'm going to be honest. When I was reading this morning and the Lord gave me what to write, because I tell y'all, I pray. I started writing. I got about 2 paragraphs in, and I'm like, Lord, I don't want to do this. Because I take this devotion and I teach it somewhere each morning. And I'm going to be honest, I didn't want to do it. Because I know how people feel. I know how people feel about, we like to live our lives. We like to do what we want to do. And we like to pull God in like a side of mashed potatoes and gravy. That's all it is. We want the life we want to live to be the main course. We want the life we want to live to be that piece of cube steak I don't know why I'm talking about food. I might be hungry still. I don't know. But, and we want to pull God in like a side dish. Like, oh, you just going to add something to it. No, 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 no. He is the thing. You understand? He's not a side dish. He is the main course, and everything else in your life needs to revolve around that, and it needs to mesh with that. Him, not that, him. But it needs to go along with it. So if you're doing something and it's like, you're not going to eat fruit salad with cube steak. If you do, that's kind of gross. But God, your cube steak. You're not going to have funky little fruit salad on the side. Come on. Okay? And y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm using terrible food analogies today, but that's what it's like. And you cannot have both. You have to choose one or the other. You can't go to work and cuss and tell dirty jokes and gossip about people and be mean and nasty to people and then turn around and raise your hand in church on Sunday and say, praise the Lord, God bless you. No, that ain't how that works. That's being lukewarm. That's neither hot nor cold. You either be on fire for God or on fire for the world, because you can't do a little bit of both. You don't eat your dessert the same time you eat your dinner. There I go with the food again. But you get what I'm saying. And y'all, just because we go to church does not mean there are not things that need to be checked up on the inside of us. I am so sick and tired of people thinking, I don't do nothing, it's them. Stop it. Okay? If that is the first thing you think of, instead of, Lord, search my heart. If I'm wrong, please show me. If that's not the first thing you think, then you need to get in an altar somewhere and pray, because that ain't going to cut it. I don't care what you do in the church. I don't care who you are. I don't care if the entire community loves you and bows down at your daggum feet. If you are not right in your heart, you are not going to heaven. Okay? God doesn't send people to heaven. People's actions send them to hell. Or excuse me, God doesn't send people to hell. Their actions do. So the consequences, and the devil has you blind. You know, when we think about living for God, we go into like straight panic mode. You know, if you're not already, you go into panic mode and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to quit doing all this stuff. What stuff? What are you doing that is so much fun because listen, you can still go out and do stuff. You can still go out to eat. You can still go to the movies. You can still go bowling. You can still grill out with your friends. You can still have a bonfire in the backyard. You can do all that stuff. You just do it without drinking. You just do it without drugs. You just do it without cussing and sleeping with people you ain't married to. That's the only difference. And if you think that's all the fun stuff, then, maybe you need to shift your perspective on how living's supposed to be. Because let me tell you something. You go to sleep on people you ain't married with, and you're going to wind up in a doctor's office. You either going to be pregnant, or you're going to have a little something you can't get rid of. You go to doing drugs, and it's possible. I mean, the way things are right now, let's not talk about getting strung out on a full addiction. It's one thing when you're 18, 19 years old, and you take a pill around a bonfire on a weekend night, and everybody's having fun. What if that pill's laced with fentanyl and you die? And you have to go stand before God and give an account to everything you've said and done. We all will. I don't care who you are, what you've done. Even preachers. The word says every person will stand before God naked and trembling and give an account for every word they have said and every deed they have done. We will give an account for it. Me too. And honestly, I mean, that's enough to make me get in an altar, because, like, Lord, have I said something I don't know? Because we all say and do stupid stuff sometimes, and we don't even realize it, and it's just like, oh, gosh, I didn't mean to do that, okay? But some things are blatant. Are you living with someone you're not married to? Because if you are, you're getting in that bed together at night, and don't act like you ain't doing stuff you ain't supposed to be doing, because that's the way it's going. I did it. I had both of my children before I was married, so I'm not judging nobody. But I know better of it now. So once you know the word, once you know what you're not supposed to do, you are held accountable for it. And so now, just saying. But there's a lot of things we don't want to do. You want to go out partying and drinking, and that's fine. You want high blood pressure. You want to be dehydrated. You want to be broke. You want to be throwing up in the middle of the night because you had too much to drink. You want your kids to see you acting stupid. You want to not be able to legally drive down the road and be hiding from the police all the time because you're drinking and driving. If it's fun, That's between you and Jesus. But don't think you can do that and have him, because you can't have both. And like I said, I'm very well aware that all the things I'm saying today are not popular. I am very well aware that there's a lot of people that are going to unlike and unsubscribe. And that's between you and Jesus. I said what I came to say because I did not want to say this, because I know what people think. And, but my question for you today is, are you willing to sacrifice the things you want for the things you need? Because God has amazing things in your life for you. He does. But if you're not willing to give up some things, then he can't bring those in there, because he's not going to dwell in an unclean vessel. He will not. And that means if you've got some ugly stuff in there, if you are gossiping and being hateful and unforgiving, and you're drinking and you're partying and you're sleeping around and you're doing all this other kind of stuff, he's not going to dwell in there. And if he's not going to dwell in there, then that means you're not going to get to experience the life he has for you. I mean, does he love you? Yeah, he loves everybody. He wants everybody to be good. Does he love the things you do? If you're out there sinning, no, he doesn't. He don't even I'm not living in blatant sin, but I do stupid stuff all the time. I know he don't like all the stuff I do, because as soon as I do it, he goes, and then I got to get it together. Okay? We all do. This isn't a finger pointing thing, because I'm going to tell you something. Everything that I named off, do you know why I named those off? Because I've done every single one of them, and I've done them a heck of a lot more than once or twice. Okay? That is how I know the difference. That is how I know the difference between living that lifestyle and not living that lifestyle. Living for God and being out in the world. And I'm going to tell you, my life is so much more fulfilling now than it ever thought about being. It was. It is. Excuse me. But you will never... There will always be an emptiness inside of you. If you choose not to serve God and you choose to live your life your way without any regard to God or what his word says, it will feel like something is always missing. You will never be satisfied. You will try. You will try with money. Some people try with drugs and alcohol. Some people try with sex. Some people shop until they just get so far into debt they can't even buy food. I mean, it happens because everyone is searching for something, and in reality, it's just their spirit. That thing that keeps them going knows it needs Jesus. So, what's your choice today? I mean, it's up to you. I can say all the things I want to say. I mean, everybody's still going to live their life the way they choose to, but what's your choice going to be today? Are you willing to sacrifice the things you want for what you truly need? And like I said, it's a good life. It really is. All right. I love everybody. I really hope and pray that you take time. Don't be mad. Don't be mad. Take time to listen and think about the choices you make in life. I don't care if you're saved. I don't care if you think you're super duper holy and you sing and teach and preach and you do all these good things. Just like I did when I read that this morning. Take a moment of reflection and see, Lord, is there anything in there that I need to get right with you? Okay? Is there anything we need to work on together? Okay? I love y'all. I hope everybody has a great day, and I'll see you next time. Go to church tonight. Love you. Bye.